Hey there, friends. Welcome into the live stream. It's your favorite 71% successful grant writer and 10-year grant winner, Superior Shelby. If this is your first time ever coming across my videos or my YouTube channel, I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video because that means you are interested in some startup funding, free money that you don't have to pay back. I know it sounds like it might be a myth, but I've been winning grants for 10 years. I've traveled the world. I've helped big companies, schools, nonprofit organizations, and so many startups and small business owners win some free money so they can start their businesses or scale the business that they currently have. So welcome on into our live stream. I dedicate my time every day. We do these live streams where I'm teaching you about grants and how to search and apply to them, some tools that I use, and I also am teaching you everything about how to win and how to increase your chances of approvals. So welcome into the live stream. Make sure you like this live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push it out to other entrepreneurs that's looking for this type of opportunity. And yeah, I'm so happy that you're here. So good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. So I have this dedicated YouTube channel that I've been doing for well over 6 years. And with my 10 years of expertise and my 71% successful grant writing rate, I have been talking about grants for years. So I'm not new to this, friend. I'm definitely true to this. Grants is a real thing. And most entrepreneurs, they don't go for grants because they simply think it's a myth and it's not real. They may have personal interest with selecting a winner, or they simply just are not educated in this particular opportunity. So many people hear on different social media channels about business loans, go for business loans, go for business credit cards, this and that. And it may seem like it's an easier way to go for those type of funding opportunities versus grants. But I'm here to tell you grants is just as easy. You just need to be properly prepared and know how to answer these questions. So come on into our live stream. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to teach you what grants are, some websites that I use to find these grant opportunities so you can apply to some grants yourself. And then I'm also going to give you some tips and tricks on how to increase your chances of approvals. And towards the end, I will leave, the floor for some questions. And if you want me to apply to grants for you or to help you get grant ready, you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me. It's $50. It's a 45-minute Zoom call. I tell you everything about the grants that are specific to your business industry and how you can be properly prepared for these grants and what my services entail. So thank you so much for joining me. I promise you I won't take up much of your time today. We're going to be very quick and direct, okay? All right, so hey Frank, he says, how much you charge to write a grant, government grant for MBE certification? So yeah, you can, it all depends on like what your business industry is. If you already have your MBE certification, I don't do one-offs. So if you want me to apply to 5 grants for you, it is on my website. I'm actually going to post my website link here so you can see all of my charges and things like that. I don't want to say it out loud on the live stream because I don't want to, demotivate anybody from going for any grants, right? So the link is there for you. You can go ahead and check out how much my services are, and we can take it from there, okay? But definitely you want to have a business plan and a pitch deck first before you go for any of these grants so you can be properly prepared, okay? But I don't apply to only one grant. I apply to at least 5 grants or more for you, okay? I've been writing grants for other companies within my 10-year time of writing grants. And my 71% successful grant writing rate really means out of 1,000 clients I might get in a year, 71% of them actually win at least one grant. Okay, one grant or more. All right, so let's get into it. So grants, free money that you can get. There's no credit checks, no personal information needed, like your date of birth or social. When you are going for banking opportunities, and I'm so happy that we're talking about this because I was actually just on a consultation or a business plan review with one of my clients. He's absolutely amazing. And, he took the business plan that I did for him to the bank. And the bank is finding so many ways to, I don't want to say this as if I'm like totally against bank loans, which I am, but I don't want to demotivate you guys for going for any funding opportunity. But when he went to the bank and he showed them the business plan, one of the things that they're doing is they're checking for AI. Now, mind you, they don't mind you using AI to develop your business plan. So if you guys are writing your own business plans and you're using ChatGPT, okay, that's fine. but they will use an AI detector to see how much of the business plan is used or drawn up by AI. I want to reassure you that if you're going for a business loan and you sit in front of the bank manager or the loan officer and they say, okay, well, majority of your business plan is done by AI, how do we know that this is really your business goals and mission? Well, you want to have confidence. Okay. Confidence is key when you are in these meetings about funding. Okay. Funding meetings. You want to have confidence and explain to them, while yes, be fully transparent. While I did use ChatGPT or whatever AI to help me, develop this business plan and really deliver the details of what I plan to do, so I can have that professional wording for you in those high key vocabulary words that you might need, to help me with increasing my chances of approvals. What is inside of the business plan, the meat and potatoes, my goals and my business mission and the vision that I have for my startup is what matters. So while I did use AI to help me develop this business plan, all of what's in this business plan, I agree with, simply because these are my actual business goals and mission. Okay. So I wanted to bring that to you because just from experience, just from recently having this consultation with my client, he took the business plan that I wrote for him, and they were asking questions, and he kind of like he wanted to make sure that he was reassured on how to move forward or maneuver through these conversations. Now, when I write business plans for you, being fully transparent, yes, I do use some AI, but I also use my own prompts and things like my own creative writing skills to do things like your mission statement, stuff like that, right? I got a lot of clients, so I can't it might take me forever to write one business plan from scratch, 70 pages, right? So I'm being fully transparent, but it's nothing wrong with using AI to help you develop your business plan. Nothing wrong with that. But you just need to make sure that you are being fully transparent with the loan officer and then reassuring them of your business missions and goals. I wanted to bring this to you just in case you guys are going for those business loan opportunities and you're sitting in front of them and they, are trying to deny you. Keep in mind during these economic times that banks don't really have money like that, right? So they cannot give out a loan to every startup and every small business that walks through that door and that is asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you really got to push and have confidence that and reassuring them that if they give you the opportunity, your business will most definitely make the necessary money to pay back that loan with interest. That's the key. Okay. All right. So now that I reassured you guys on a few things, let's talk about grants. Now, with grants, one thing I can say about when you are writing your grant application, you do not want to use AI. Just like how the bank uses AI detectors to determine if you use AI for your business plans or whatever have you, it's the same exact thing that they do for your grant applications. They will use an AI detector like Zero GPT or whatever have you, and they will download your application submission and upload it to Zero GPT or an AI detector to determine if you use AI on your grant applications. Very, very important that you do not use AI when you are answering the questions. They want organic answers. Even if you feel like you don't have enough high key vocabulary words, you can use AI or the Google dictionary to help you with synonyms to help truly, deliver in detail your answer. Okay. So, while AI is a really cool thing, right? They also have AI detectors, and you don't want to use AI to answer any of your grant questions. Okay. All right. So, grants, free money that you can get. There's no credit checks. So, you don't have to worry about any credit inquiries, none of that stuff that's going to lower your credit. There's no bank account statements needed, and you don't have to provide your social security number, and you don't have to provide your ID or anything like that. Okay. Grants is free money for startups. Small business grants is for startups and small business owners and ideas like new innovations. It's money, free money that you can get so you can start and scale your business. Okay. It's solely to help you move to the next level. What I like a lot about grants versus going for like traditional lending opportunities like loans, lines of credit, and credit cards is that grants not only come with the money, but it also comes with a network and some other perks and deals and opportunities that you can use to help scale your business and put yourself in that room with other high ticket customers and clients. Yeah. So grants go way beyond just getting the money. It will actually help put you up in the ring so you can start competing with your business. Okay. So with these grants, that I'm going for, I usually go for grants that are, either state funded, funded by other companies, or funded by other private investors or nonprofit organizations. So you can go for a state and local funded grant, right? So for example, you might live in an area like Miami, and they might be looking for women-owned businesses in Miami-Dade County, right? They might be giving out $10,000 to all women-owned businesses in Miami-Dade County. Okay, so you have those. Then you have those grants that are funded by other high-ticket, high-earning businesses like Apple, Google, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Zen Business, and LegalZoom, even Intuit QuickBooks, right? Stripe, which is the payment processor. So those are like big multi-million dollar companies that actually give out grants as well. And then you can get a grant from other, private investors or nonprofit organizations like Hello Skip. Hello Skip is a certified nonprofit organization. So they give out grants every month and on a weekly basis as well. You have Hello Alice, the Black Ambition Prize, the Hope Fund. You have so many, Fearless Fund. You have so many out there that are investment capital firms, but they also offer grants as well. Okay. So, a grant is free money that you don't have to pay back. And you also know that you can get a grant from a state and local government. You can get a grant from a private entity or a business. And you can also get a grant from a nonprofit organization that helps out startups and small business owners and private investors. Now that you know that, there's so many different ways that you can actually win a grant, okay? Most people are asking me this question: how do I win a grant, or how do I apply to a grant? Friend, I'm going to help you answer that question. Winning a grant, there's 4 different ways that you can actually win a grant. One way is through a pitch competition. So a pitch competition is when it's kind of like Shark Tank, if you've ever watched that show with Damon John and Mark Cuban. Yeah, so it's when you're standing in front of a panel of judges, or you're on a Zoom call in front of a few judges, and you are explaining to them about your company, what your service and product is, who's your target audience, what your target audience problem is, and how you're solving it, and how you're being innovative in solving that, and how you would actually use the funding opportunity. So you have a pitch competition. That's one way you can win a grant. Another way you can win a grant is through a first come, first serve opportunity. We saw this a lot during the SBA COVID relief funds for small businesses. Remember, the SBA was giving out the $10,000 targeted advance to any person who had an LLC and they were affected by COVID. Well, that was a first come, first serve opportunity. So as long as you had an LLC and you applied before the money ran out, you pretty much got the opportunity. The money was in your bank account in less than 7 days. Okay. Then you could win a grant through like an actual judgment. So a judgment will be more of like a point system. So they are reading your application answers and they are determining if you are the best candidate for that opportunity. So you're on those type of grants, you want to make sure that you're being very thorough, very detailed, clear and concise and compassionate in your answers to really, get the grantors to understand the reasons for why your company or your startup idea deserves the free money. And then the last way you can win a grant is simply through like a random raffle. So a random raffle, Hello Skips does this actually. Hello Skip does this with their $1,000 raffle every week. They do a $1,000 raffle. All you have to do is subscribe to their YouTube channel. You can also download the app Hello Skip, and you'll be able to use the Hello Skip app to find grants that you can apply to. But while you're also joined and downloaded with Hello Skip, you'll be able to enter in a chance to win their $1,000 raffle that they do on a weekly basis. That is a grant as well. Hello Skip is a nonprofit organization that gives us startups and small business owners that opportunity to win $1,000 that we can put towards our business development journey, our marketing strategies, buying supplies and equipment, or whatever have you. So a grant, free money that you don't have to pay back, no credit checks, no personal information needed. All right. And also, that there's different ways that you can win a grant through a raffle, a first come, first serve, through a pitch competition, or simply through like one of those judgments. And then you can get a grant from a private entity, another nonprofit organization, or a private investor. And you can also get a grant through one of those big companies like Amazon. Okay. Now that you know that, let's talk about where I find these grants, okay, and which application or which website you should go to find grants for your startup and small business. And what if you are kickstarting your grant writing journey? So if you've never written grants before, I'm going to tell you which website you should go to and start writing grants for yourself, okay? So the three main websites that I use, one will be grants.gov. Good morning, everybody. One will be grants.gov. Grants.gov is the government website for all federally funded grants. Majority of the business owners or the companies that win those type of grants or cooperative agreements, they're already seasoned businesses. They're at least 2 years or older. And because it's a federally funded grants, they do require you to have some special documents like your business tax returns of the last 2 years in order to qualify for those type of opportunities. So if you're a startup, I do not recommend that you start with grants.gov, okay? But if you are a seasoned business, go ahead and have at it. It's a free website you can use. Now, the second website I use is HelloSkip, okay? HelloSkip.com. You can download HelloSkip on your phone. It's blue and white. You can use my invite code Superior Shelby, all one word, so you can have access to so many grants that they have on their dashboard. HelloSkip, like I said before, is a certified nonprofit organization. They help startups and small business owners get funding opportunities. So not only just grants, but also loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. They help you develop your business plan. They help you with consultations and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so it's a really great app. So yeah, you can do HelloSkip. If you are starting, all right, you're a startup, you haven't generated any revenue yet, you possibly don't have an LLC yet or whatever have you, then HelloSkip is the app that I truly recommend that you download and you start applying to grants there, okay? Start to learn what these grant applications are asking. So this is a really great app to help you navigate through grant applications. And also it's going to help you with your grant answers. It has an AI detector alongside with it that's going to help you determine whether or not your grant answer is strong enough before you submit the application. So don't sleep on HelloSkip. If you are just kickstarting your grant writing journey, you have not generated any revenue yet for your idea. You just had this idea last night. You don't have an LLC or whatever have you. You don't even have the business set up properly yet. Then HelloSkip is that place that I totally recommend that you start applying, searching and applying to grants, okay? And then last but not least, which is my favorite website out of the three, is GrantWatch.com. GrantWatch.com is a website that you do have to pay for on a weekly or monthly basis. Weekly is $18 a week, or monthly is $45 a month. I pay monthly, and it's a full grant search engine. So it has smart filters on its page. As soon as you go there, it's blue and white, friend. As soon as you go there, you click on start search, and it has all of these filters that you can put into place, like your area, your zip code, your city and state, and your county. You can put in your business type, and some filters that are targeted towards you as an entrepreneur. So are you a Black-owned company, a woman entrepreneur? Are you a startup? So you would select all of the filters that serves in your favor, and then it will generate you'll click search, and it will generate all of the grants, narrow down to the best ones that serve in your favor, okay, that align with your mission. Yes. So GrantWatch is going to be that second place that I recommend after you have applied to all the grants in HelloSkip, as many as you can. Then use GrantWatch. Okay. Remember, you do have to pay the $45 a month, but use GrantWatch to find more grants that you can apply to. Okay. Keep yourself organized when you are applying to grants. Okay. Sorry, y'all, I have the door open, so that's why it's flying here. But keep yourself organized when you are applying to grants. Make sure you create your own spreadsheet so you can keep on track of the grants that you have applied to. Not all grant applications will submit. After you submit, will give you like a confirmation email saying thank you so much for applying to this grant. Sometimes you'll submit the grant application and you won't receive anything in your email, or it might go to your spam. So create your own spreadsheet and make sure you keep note or keep a list of all the grants that you are applying to, so you don't submit any duplicate applications as well. Submitting duplicate applications will void out your entire submission, which means if you submit 2 applications to one grant opportunity, in most cases, they're just going to throw your entire applications out the window and you will not be selected, or you won't even be in the ring for being a potential winner. Okay. All right. So how do you apply to these grants? Okay. Well, how do you apply? The best way I can answer that question is Being properly prepared. Each grant application is going to have a series of questions that you will go through. Experience is the best teacher with this, friend. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it. So it's very important. Here's one tip that I can give you: go through the grant application first before you decide to apply. Go through the grant application first before you decide to apply. This will give you reassurance and clarity on what the grant questions are asking, and it will help you prepare for this particular grant application that you're submitting. Okay? So, one, go through the grant application first. Two, having things like your business plan, your pitch deck, and a 3-minute pitch video will truly help you be prepared for grants. And here's why: you can use your business plan to serve as an answer key or a guideline with answering some of those grant questions. Grant questions like, what is your business mission? Who are your top 3 competitors? What is the innovation that you are bringing to your market? What are your funding goals? What is your business roadmap like? What is your business traction? Tell us what your risks are in your business industry. So, having a business plan that has all of the key factors that you need to have in a business plan will really help you with answering those grant questions. So, initially, within the first 2 pages of your business plan, you need to have what's called an executive summary. An executive summary is a straightforward 1-page or 2-pager that tells you about the company, what is the service or product, what is the problem, how are you solving the problem, who's your target audience, and how are you being innovative, right? So that's like your executive summary. Straightforward, direct information. It's, if you think about it, it's kind of like a guideline for your entire business plan. After that should come all of your analysis. So like your market research, your marketing strategy, your risk analysis, your SWOT analysis, and then your financial analysis, right? So what is your funding plan like? All right. So how much money are you requesting? How are you going to use the money? Where is the money going to go into? What is your revenue goals? What are your expenses, right? So you want to have all of that in there. And what is your 5-year plan, right? What is your launch plan? And what is your post-launch plan, right? Things like that. So you want to have all of those key factors in your business plan that will help you out with delivering some clear and concise and compassionate answers on your grant application. Okay. A pitch deck is pretty much the PowerPoint version of your business plan, and it has all of the same key factors too. It's like that visual. Would use a pitch deck. Sorry, you would use a pitch deck in the event that you are either speaking to private investors or doing some capital, investment funding, right? So say that they want to hop on a Zoom call. You can use the pitch deck to really deliver, about your company, why you need the money, things like that. Okay. So you need a pitch deck. And in the 3-minute pitch video, every business needs to have some sort of content, and being able to deliver in a video that shows like compassion and why you got into this particular market industry, no matter what industry it's in, being able to show that you're actually compassionate about delivering on your business mission. That 3-minute pitch video is going to be that visual piece that is going to pretty much be the cherry on top. Okay. All right. So tip number 1, go through the grant application. That's going to help you reassure yourself on what type of questions that the grant application is asking, so you can prepare. Have a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 3-minute pitch video, so that you can use that as an answer key. Those things as an answer key. Also, sometimes there's some grant applications that require you to upload your pitch deck and business plan alongside with submitting the grant application. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's why I say have these things already properly prepared, so you'll be good to go. And then like another tip is keeping yourself organized, right? And I said this before, but make sure you jot down or put in your phone notes, or go ahead and create a spreadsheet. I'm a spreadsheet girly. And put in your spreadsheet each grant that you are applying to, and be organized, right? Keep in mind of the grant application deadline dates. So speaking of deadline dates, when should you know if you were selected for a grant? How will you know if you were selected for a grant, right? I get this question all the time. Well, friend, when a grant writer or a grantor, right, which is the people that's giving out the money, when a grantor wants to give you the money, when they want to select you as a winner, they will contact you through your business email. Yes, the email that you put on the grant application. Okay. They will contact you through your email. They will not call you. They will not text you. They will contact you via email. So it's important to have your notifications on your email, on your phone, so you won't miss any emails that's coming through. Okay. Now, they will contact you via email to let you know if you were selected as the winner. Now, when should you know? Each grant application has a application deadline date. So the deadline for you to submit this application, and then they also have what's called a winner selection date. The winner selection date is the date that you should be checking your email to reassure yourself if you were selected for the opportunity. Okay? If you don't see on the grant introductory website, right, that says the winner selection date, make sure you go through the grant thoroughly. All right. Most people, they don't go through the grant thoroughly. You don't check the official rules and the terms and conditions. If you click that small hyperlink that says official rules or terms and conditions, then you will be reassured of exactly how this grant is grading you, right? So how they're judging you. And you'll also be reassured on what the winner selection date is. In most cases, that winning selection date can be within 30 days after the application deadline date. So for example, if the application deadline date, let's say is June 20th tomorrow, then it might be July. You have to give them by July 20th to select a winner. Okay. All right. So just generally speaking, grants are competitive. All right. They're competitive. This is not like, oh, you make as long as you come to the bank. And let me tell you something. That's not that. Those days are even gone. Even if you go to the bank and you have good credit, you have assets, you have all of this, stuff to show that you can handle this loan. There's no 100% guarantee that you will actually get the loan. Okay. Just generally speaking, there's no 100% guarantee that you would actually get approved for a loan, line of credit, or a credit card. Same thing goes for grants. Every opportunity is a gamble, okay, friend? But with these grants, it's free money that you don't have to pay back. And you're also not wasting your time. These grant applications are asking you questions that you should be thinking yourself, and it's going to help you tighten up on your business development journey. Okay? It's going to keep you on your toes and keep you focused on delivering on your business mission. So don't be afraid to submit any grant application. Matter of fact, the more organic you are and the more compassionate you are in your answers, the better. These people don't want ChatGPT answers. They don't want answers from a robot. A lot of the times, they're not even looking for high key vocabulary words. They want to know that it is directly from you, and you must stay focused on the business mission and how you are solving the problem when you are answering the question. That is how you win a grant. Okay, being clear, concise, and compassionate. I'm always saying that. All right, so a grant is free money that you don't have to pay back. There's no credit checks, no personal information needed. You know that you can get a grant from a state and local funded opportunity through a private investment corporation or like a nonprofit. And you can also get it from a big company like Google and Amazon. You also know that there's 4 ways you can win a grant: through a pitch competition, through a first come first serve opportunity, through a random raffle or draw, or through a actual judgment when they're judging you on your answer based on your answers that you submit. You also know that it's best for you to have a business plan, a pitch deck, a 3-minute pitch video, right? To best prepare you for these grants. You also know that you should be organized when you are applying to grants so that way you won't submit any duplicate applications. And also, another great tip is to go through the application first before you decide to apply so you can give yourself reassurance and clarity on exactly what they're asking and looking for on the grant application. I use grants.gov, grants.gov, helloskip.com, and grantwatch.com to search for these type of grants that I'm talking about. I always talk about, and I'm only talking about small business and startup grants on my YouTube channel, okay? So now that you all know that, what questions do you have for me? I want to open up the floor for any questions. I want to make sure that I've given you all the reassurance and clarity that you need. Now, I write business plans and pitch decks and stuff like that. Yes, I do use AI to help me out with writing them, but there's nothing wrong with that. But with the grant writing, I don't use AI at all. I use all of my creative writing skills simply because they have AI detectors and they know when you are using AI. Okay, so you do not want to use ChatGPT and copy and paste the question into ChatGPT and copy and paste the answer into your grant application. You do not want to do that, okay? You don't want to do it. You do not want to do that. Do not do that, okay? Don't do that. All right, so what questions do we have? Welcome in, chat. Make sure you like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push out this good information. Hey, everybody. Let me see. I'm working on my WOSB, so my women-owned small business, and my minority business enterprise certification, 51.49%. This is awesome, Daves. Hey, 7-star. Hey, how you doing, Ken? So blessed to have you for sure. How do I go about getting a startup grant? You can also, Martise, thank you so much for asking that question. Visit GrantWatch.com. If this is your first time writing grants, then definitely go to HelloSkip. HelloSkip is going to help you out with navigating how to apply to grants and things like that. Okay, so yeah, but make sure you have your business plan, your pitch deck, and a 3-minute pitch video before you go for grants so you can be properly prepared. Okay. Good morning, Maria. Do you need an EIN first? No, you don't always need to have an EIN first at all. This is not like a bank loan or anything. They don't talk to the IRS. But you know, an EIN is free, so you might as well just get it, right? Might as well just get it. Hey, how's it going? Happy belated birthday and congratulations on your engagement. Thank you so much. Maria says, I was watching Shark Tank. Are there the same questions on the grant applications? I don't know. So no, each grant applications has different questions, right? Because each grant has their own mission. For example, a grant that is solely to help women who have went through domestic violence situations, those type of grant questions might be totally different versus someone who has a plumbing company or a trucking company and they're going for a grant specifically for the trucking industry, right? So the grant for a trucking application, right? Might be, do you have your CDLs? What is your years of experience? Have you done over the road or local driving? Have you done general freight? Like what type of trucking have you done? General freight, car hauling, whatever have you, versus someone who is going for a grant for their small business that helps, domestic violence victims. They might ask, what is your experience? Do you have any certifications in mental health? Do you plan to have any extra help? What is your team like? What are your resources and tools that you are bringing to your center? Are you going to open up a center or are you going to be virtual? So the questions may be a bit different. Okay. Each grant application has different questions. That's why I do not recommend you like completing your own like answer key, because also, to reassure you, Maria, there might be a grant application might ask one simple question. To you, it might be simple, but depending on the grant application, they might be asking something more thorough. So for example, the question that says, what is your business mission? What is your business mission could mean, just directly tell me your business mission in 2 to 3 sentences. Or it can be, tell me how you are delivering on this business mission that you stated. So there's 2 different ways that you can answer that question. So it's not, I don't think it's good, right? It's not good for you to try to, streamline this and try to create your own answer key. It's very best that you come from the heart and you be as detailed as possible when you are submitting your grant applications. Perfect. You understand. Thank you so much. Bruce says, I have a notary business. I have been in business for the last 5 years. I am now in the rebranding and adding new services. Can I apply for a startup grant? Absolutely. If you've been in business for 5 years, you will not be doing a startup grant. You will just be simply applying to a small business grant. Being in business for 5 years is absolutely awesome. That means you started your business during COVID. And I really do admire your perseverance, Bruce. So thanks so much for commenting. And shout out to you. I hope all is well and everything goes well for you. So being in business for 5 years, absolutely. If you've had your LLC for 5 years, you've had a business bank account for that long, you will not go for a startup grant. You will simply go for a small business grant. You are no longer in the startup phases, my friend. You are an actual small business. Let me tell you about the different stages in companies, okay? Startups. Okay, well, you have idea, right? The idea phases is where you have not generated any revenue. You do not have an LLC. You do not have an EIN. You do not have a business website. You do not have a business social media account. You don't have anything professionally or properly set up for your idea. You are in what's called the idea phases. Then you have startup. Okay. The startup phase is when you have your LLC or your business registration, you have your EIN, you are in the process of developing your website, you have social media channels, you even have a business bank account, but you simply did not generate revenue as of yet. That's a startup. Okay. And a small business, you're generating revenue. You have all of your business credentials put together. You might have a payment processor. You got a website. You have social media accounts. You're on Google, but you're generating a certain amount, or you haven't hit your revenue goals, right? So let's say you're in between, you're still in the first, you're not in six figures yet, but you're generating some revenue, right? And then when you're an actual company, like myself, okay, you're a company, you've been doing this well over 2 years, okay, you have business taxes, you've been paying your business taxes on time, you have more than enough business credit and business banking relationships with multiple banking institutions. You have gotten funding opportunities through bank loans, lines of credit cards, and even grants. You have so much years of content and years of experience. That's the actual company. You make six figures or more. You're already hitting your revenue goals. You're also in your expansion phases, right? So you might be expanding. So instead of you only helping out clients that's based in Atlanta, Georgia, you might be going nationwide. Instead of just being nationwide, you might be going global, right? So I'm a global grant writer. I have clients in the UK and also in different countries here in Africa. And I'm also helping different governments develop their own grant programs. Yes. So imagine going to Zimbabwe and going to Kenya, and they don't have a grant program, but they have the money to be able to give to startups and small business owners and people who's in trading and exporting, but they don't know how to develop that grant program. Well, that's what I would do. I would go to Kenya and I would sit down with all the top people of their World Bank of Africa and say, okay, this is how we're going to do this thing. This is the best way to be able to give out this grant per this particular business industry. So I've been able to scale my business to that point, and I'm in what's called expansion phase. Okay. So those are the different phases. All right. Then you have enterprise. Enterprise level is just pretty much, you're global. Enterprise is like Uber, Amazon, you know what I mean? Like big enterprises. That's what that is. Okay. You can invest in stock in that company and all that good stuff. Okay. So there are different phases to businesses. And I wanted you guys to have that clarity and reassurance too. Okay. I know nobody is teaching you this on the streets. You're not going to learn this on the streets, friend. Nobody's going to tell you because they don't know. Okay. They don't know. So it's important for you to find someone like myself or a trusted small business development coach that can teach you these things, and specifically find somebody who you can comprehend what they're saying. Because you can go to the SBA and get a free consultation. You can go to the Small Business Development Center and get a free consultation. But if you're sitting in front of somebody who has a strong Latino accent and you might not comprehend what they're saying, you need somebody who you can resonate with. You know what I mean? So I'm here to help you out. That's why I offer the $50 consultations, because not only do I help you get grant ready, but I make sure that you are following the proper steps to be a professional company or a professional startup or small business in the United States or wherever country you are in. You understand? Cool. So now everybody's going to teach you this stuff. All right. My business expertise is from experience, and also I went to college. Okay. And I'm in serious school debt, but I'm giving you these gems for free. Okay. All right. Yes. I love the people. Shelby for the people. What other questions do you guys have for me? Any business related questions? And while you're typing your questions, I always like to touch on this simply because I'm eventually going to start changing a little bit of the direction of our live streams and stuff like that, because I want us to talk more about different industries internationally that you can get into. I definitely need help with my business plan. Okay, Bruce, I can write it for you. I got you. Absolutely. Make sure you go to visit my website. I'll put it here in the chat for you. You can get signed up, or you can simply book a grant call, and I'll explain to you how it works. It's $50 for the grant call, super worth it. So since traveling the world, I haven't lived in the United States for the last 3 years, right? So I left the US a long time ago. I am from Miami, Florida. So living in Miami, Florida, there is a high paid lifestyle, just like the people in LA, just like the people in New York. We pay a lot for just to live, okay? And the lifestyle that I had in Miami, it became expensive. But I also felt like I was in such a rat race, and I felt like I had like there was like this financial chokehold on my finances. While I was making really good money on a monthly basis, I still didn't see a dollar towards the end of the month because of business bills and personal bills. So I didn't want to live a life like that anymore. So I decided to pack up and leave the US. And I did that that sacrifice for the life of my business, so I can continue to do this and offer you guys all of this good free information on YouTube. And also, I did that for a higher quality of life. The first place I left, I went to Latin America, and I was able to live in all of those different countries in Latin America, from Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, all of those places. And yes, poquito español. Así habla español. Okay. So, I did all of that. And then after Panama, I went back to the US. I spent some time with my grandma before she passed away. And then after she passed away, I decided to leave and I came here to Africa. Especially as a Black American, Africa is the motherland. And we are always talking about how we want to come back to Africa. We want to experience it, this, that, and a third. Well, I actually packed my stuff and I executed on exactly what I said I wanted to do. Most people don't do that. You got a lot of naysayers. You got a lot of people out here who just wanna be, but they're not actually executing on being the best versions of themselves. So I packed up and I left. Since I've been here in Africa, I've been in Africa for about 9, almost going on 10 months. Since I've been here, I have really been exposed to different ways that you can make money. While they are pushing you guys to get into e-commerce, digital courses, and content, all of the main 3 things that I see on social media about how to make money through a faceless YouTube channel, how to make money through TikTok Shop, how to make money through selling an ebook, or how to buy stuff from this website and resell it on Amazon, right? While they are pushing those quick, let's say, gigs to y'all, because that's really a gig, that's not really where the big bank is at. You can invest less than $1,000 into things like trade and exporting, livestock, tissue, water, even international real estate, and you can really get a return on your investment, and you can secure a higher like wealth for your family generation. Yeah, friend. So one thing I did when I came over here and I started becoming hip to these things, okay? I started becoming hip. I said, oh, you people, it's a lot of like, Muslims over here. And I understand the calendar of Salah, right? And when Salah happens, they eat a lot of goat, ram, beef, they don't eat pork. So a lot of those things. So when I know that it's closer to Salah time, I should be selling cows. I should be selling goats and ram and lamb, right? So I took $700, 700 USD, and I bought more than 10 cows. And when I bought those cows, I bought some that are small and I bought some that I can sell like flip instantly, right? Half of them, right? So let's say 5 of them was already ready to flip because it was already Salah. The other half, it was like, middle, let's say teenage cows, right? So by towards the end of this year, when Salah like comes back around, I'll be ready to sell again. The income that I made from that, I have reinvested and put it back into that livestock business. This is agriculture. This is agriculture. So while they are pushing that out to y'all, oh, just do a course. Here's how you use a course, and then spend all of your money, your entire check on Google ads and Etsy ads and this e-commerce ads so you can keep pushing out your course and your book or whatever to be at the top of the list and this and that. While that does help out with some, keep in mind that the ones that are actually making top money from those courses and things like that, they already have a following. They might have a high following on LinkedIn, a high following on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You got to keep that in mind. So with these people that already got hundreds of thousands of followers, they can, of course, they can create a ebook or an e-course and they can sell it for like $10 and they make $100K off of it because they already have that follower, right? They have those followers that are willing to buy whatever they give out. Don't be one of the ones that want to create your own activewear. And then when you create your own activewear, you want to buy some activewear, you want to resell it online, and it's not of high quality. You don't want to do that. So while they are pushing all of that out to you, which it ain't nothing wrong with it, you can get into e-commerce, whatever, do whatever you want to do. But keep in mind that there are other markets and industries that you can get into that does not, excuse me, require you to, use so much of your income to invest in initially, and you could start receiving a return. Now, it does take you to understand the flow of money outside the US, but the whole purpose of you investing is simply for you to be able to start generating generational wealth, financial freedom. Understand? I said this yesterday and I'll say it again. A friend of mine, her friend, she is a millionaire off of tissue. Tissue. Came over here to Africa, see how much it costs for tissue. How much does it cost to produce per roll? Cool, it's much cheaper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy some tissue, some quality tissue from Nigeria or from wherever in Africa, and I'm going to resell it in Canada. Right? Right? So why can't you do the same thing? I don't even care. Even it can be hair clips. Okay. No, make yours different. Your duck clips, right? If you find the country, especially China, that produces these, and then you get a duck clip that's gold and has like, a little silver in it or some rose gold duck clips. Wow. You know how many girls will buy your duck clips because they're rose gold? And girls love beauty. You got people on social media that literally go to people's Amazon Find stores and buy small containers just so they can be organized because everybody wants this aesthetic lifestyle now. I need for you guys to start increasing your business acumen, right? Start thinking of different ways. If people have to eat. Livestock and dry stock, like dry goods, like beans and rice. Find the country that you can mostly, and then take a trip. You guys are already investing into these trips to Puerto Rico and these cruises and stuff. Actually take a trip to where you can start learning something and start reinvesting your money into, and then you'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a trip out here to Kenya. I'm gonna take a trip out here to I don't know, the Bahamas, see how much their pineapples are. Are they sweet? Are they good? Do they taste a bit different? Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna start, selling pineapples in the US. You have to be willing to do that. And it is not a hard thing. The internet is here for us, right? You can always you can join different Facebook groups. And it is trial and error. Just like when you are starting your own business or your own startup with the e-commerce store, or you want to start doing content, everything is trial and error. You have to give it some time. You have to be willing to go through the journey. You might come across people that's not genuine. You might then if God willing, you'll come across those people initially. As soon as you speak with them, they're ready to do business, good business, and they have everything that you need streamlined. And all you have to do is invest, and then just keep watch of your money. Right? For my international real estate in Panama, I got 10 investors, right, to be able to invest into a hotel that's not even developed yet. But because of trust with me, because I've done good business with them once before, because I understand business and I understand investments, they were able to trust me with moving forward with that particular project. Now, this is not my own hotel. I don't own the hotel, right? We just own a couple of rooms. But guess what? It comes with concierge. We don't have to do the Airbnb. We don't have to do the booking.com and none of that stuff. Whenever somebody books at this hotel, which is literally 7 minutes away from the airport, and it's a luxury hotel, as soon as somebody book, we get paid. And this hotel is not going to be ready to go until next year. It's been in the making for that long. So you guys find ways that you can invest in other ideas or invest in other businesses instead of just always the mediocre, right? Respectfully, because especially what's going on in the US, AI and technology is going to take over those mediocre businesses. And you have to get into industries, global industries that will allow you to make income in different currencies, and also allow you to connect yourself internationally, right? And start doing bigger business. All right. So, is there any last questions? I'm so happy that you guys joined me for this live stream. If you want to know more about, grants, how to make sure your business is properly set up, or if you just simply want to have a conversation about investing in different areas internationally, you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me. You can book a one-on-one. All right, just me and you on a 45-minute Zoom call. It's $50, super worth it. My website is in the chat. You can visit superchargemybusiness.com. Once you go to my website, my phone number and everything is there, client testimonials, all of my services is there as well, okay? All right, so I really do appreciate you guys joining me. I told you I wasn't going to take too much of your time. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, okay, friend? All right. All right. Bye-bye for now.